When my 17-year-old daughter Lily was banned from my sister's wedding, I didn't argue. I didn't beg for an exception or try to reason with anyone. I just said, we won't be attending. And that was it. My name is Charlotte Miller. I'm 39, a nurse practitioner living in Vermont, and I've been Lily's mom since she was 3. She came into my life with big, quiet eyes that seemed to study everything around her. She didn't speak much at first, just watched, like she was still deciding if the world was a safe place. The first time she called me mom, I cried alone in the car after preschool drop-off. It meant everything to me. From the start, I made her a promise, she would never feel unwanted in my family again. I thought I was doing okay with that promise until the wedding. My younger sister Brittany got engaged last spring. Big announcement. Giant ring, and an Instagram caption that sounded like a bridal magazine ad. I congratulated her, of course. Lily even handmade her a card with paper bells and glitter and so much effort it made my heart ache. Brittany smiled when she got it, said it was sweet, and then tossed it into the back seat of her car. I found it there weeks later, half crushed under a fast food wrapper, but Lily stayed excited. She kept looking up dresses online, asking if she should wear her hair up or down, wondering if she'd get to help with decorations. I could tell she was hopeful and nervous, but hopeful. Then the invitation arrived. It was one of those heavy, glossy envelopes with gold trim. I opened it at the kitchen counter while Lily was doing homework at the table. It listed all the usual details: date, time, dress code. Then my eyes landed on the line that shifted everything: adults only. 18 and over. Strictly enforced. No exceptions. I read it twice. Lily must have seen my face change because she looked up from her notebook and asked, "She doesn't want me there?" I answered, "It's an 18 and over wedding." My voice was calm, but my hands were trembling. She was silent for a moment, then asked, "Is it because I'm adopted?" That question cracked something deep inside me. She didn't ask it with tears or anger, just a flat, tired tone, like it was a fact she'd long suspected. I said, "No. Absolutely not." But I knew what she meant. I knew exactly what she meant. That wasn't the first time Lily had been made to feel like an outsider. It wasn't always obvious. It didn't come with yelling or cruel words. It came in subtler ways, like when my mom would refer to Lily as Charlotte's girl instead of calling her by name. Or when Brittany would say your daughter, like Lily was some neighbor's kid tagging along, not her niece. I kept hoping it was unintentional. That maybe they were still adjusting. That if I explained enough times, smiled enough, stayed patient enough, they'd come around, but the signs kept piling up, like the time we showed up to a family dinner and Lily offered to help in the kitchen. No one acknowledged her, not a single word. She ended up standing near the sink, holding a plate of vegetables, unsure what to do. Or when we went to Easter at my parents' house and every grandchild had a personalized basket with their name on it, except for Lily. Hers just said Happy Spring in generic font. She didn't say anything. She just held it and smiled politely, the way she always did. The first time I saw her truly disappointed was when she drew a picture of our family, me, her, and my husband Eric, and gave it to my mom. It was a sweet sketch, with bright colors and little hearts. My mom said, "Thank you," placed it on the table, and that was that. Later that day, Lily asked why it wasn't on the fridge like her cousin's drawings. I didn't have an answer. When Lily was 6, she told my dad she wanted to be an artist. He chuckled and said, "You'll need to think about something more practical." When she was 8 and wanted to help plan a family event, Brittany told her, "That's cute, but maybe let the adults handle it." It was constant. Not aggressive. Not loud. Just dismissive. And always enough to make Lily hesitate. I kept thinking I could fix it by showing up. By including them in her birthdays, her school plays, her life. But the more we showed up, the clearer it became, they never fully accepted that Lily was here to stay a part of them. I think, still believed I'd eventually have my own child. That Lily was a temporary chapter. A kind of noble gesture they could applaud from a distance. As if someday they'd say, remember when Charlotte fostered that sweet little girl? They never said it out loud. They didn't need to. And the wedding invitation confirmed it wasn't just a formality. It was a line in the sand. A message, she's not really part of us. Not where it matters. I didn't respond to the invitation. I didn't call Brittany or try to argue my case. I just went online and clicked not attending. No explanation. Just know, the next day, my phone lit up with a message from her, hey, just saw your RSVP. Is everything okay? Then another one, if this is about the age thing, I hope you understand, we're being super consistent with everyone. Nothing personal, right? Nothing personal. Except it was, Lily wasn't some distant cousin. She wasn't a coworker's kid or someone's +1. She was Brittany's niece. My daughter, she was 17, not 7. She had made a card. Picked out a dress. Asked about hairstyles. She wanted to be part of it. And now all of that was being dismissed as a technicality. I didn't reply. A few hours later, my younger sister Melissa messaged me, Tessa said you're not coming. What's going on? Then my mother called. She never calls unless something is wrong. So I picked up with a sinking feeling. Charlotte, she said. I heard you're not going to the wedding. Is this really about the age limit? I said. Lily wasn't invited. I'm not going without her. She's almost 18. There was a pause. Then my mom said, it's not like she's a little kid. She's family. I waited. She didn't add anything else. No apology. No acknowledgement of how Lily might feel. Don't punish your sister over this, she added. It's one night. I didn't argue. I just said, we're not going. And I hung up. That should have been the end of it. But it wasn't. The group chat started buzzing. First it was Melissa, can't believe you're making such a big deal over one rule. You always have to cause drama. Then Brittany, this isn't about Lily. You're making it about her. And finally my mom, a long paragraph about forgiveness and family unity and how hard it is to be in the middle. Meanwhile, Lily deleted the dress photos from her phone. She didn't cry. She just quietly erased the pictures like they no longer mattered, like she had expected this all along. And that, more than the wedding, more than the texts, is what hurt the most. She wasn't surprised. She had already learned what I spent too long trying not to see. They never truly saw her. Time passed. The wedding came and went. No one apologized. No one brought it up again. It was like they expected everything to go back to normal. Like Lily's exclusion was a minor hiccup, not a deep wound. Then December rolled around. Every year, I hosted Christmas. That had always been the tradition. I cooked. I cleaned. I bought extra folding chairs and pulled out the big table leaf from the garage. I did it all, even when I was tired, even when I didn't feel like celebrating. Not this time. I didn't send invitations. I didn't start the group chat. I didn't plan anything. When my husband Eric asked, should I go ahead and order the chairs? I just shook my head. No extra seats this year. I said that. He didn't ask questions. Lily didn't either. They both understood, but the silence, that's what got to them. Around mid-December, the messages started rolling in. Melissa, hey. Are we still doing Christmas Eve dinner at your place? Let me know what I should bring. Brittany, of course, we'll be 5 again. Let me know if Lily wants anything special this year, if she's even going to be there this time. That one almost got me. If she's even going to be there this time. As if Lily had chosen to miss the wedding. As if her absence had been some dramatic teenage tantrum instead of a deliberate exclusion. Though I didn't reply. Not to that. Not to any of it. For the first time in years, I didn't scrub the floors or decorate the mantle or stock up on wine. I didn't pretend. I didn't perform, and when they didn't hear back, they started calling. At first it was my mom. I let it ring, then Melissa. Then Brittany. Eventually my dad left a voicemail. Charlotte, we just want to know what's going on. Your mother's upset. It's not too late to do the right thing. The right thing. As if the right thing was welcoming people who had excluded my daughter. As if feeding them dinner would erase the pain they never acknowledged. Oh no. We didn't host anyone that Christmas. Instead, we made lasagna in our pajamas. Lily baked sugar cookies in strange little shapes that barely held together. We watched movies. We laughed. We opened presents early and no one walked on eggshells. No one translated passive-aggressive comments. No one fell silent when Lily entered the room. It was quiet. Peaceful. Whole. My name is Daniela, and I used to believe that family, even when fractured, was sacred, that no matter how messy things got, blood would always bind us together. But I was wrong. Sometimes, the people who raise you can unmake you without a word, and love can quietly decay into something cold, performative, and transactional. I'm 28 now, but my story began when I was just 19, standing at the edge of independence with a heart full of hope and naivety. I had left for college, calling my mom every week, sending her pictures of my dorm, asking for her lasagna recipe, trying to keep that invisible string tied between us. But over time, things changed. Her voice on the phone grew distant, conversations shorter, and soon, excuses replaced affection. I've just been busy, she'd say. Harper needs a lot of attention. Harper was the foster girl my mom took in after I left, just temporarily, someone who needed stability. I thought it was admirable at first. I even supported it. Until I came home one semester to find that my bedroom had been stripped bare. My posters, books, and journals were gone, packed into boxes and stuffed into the cold garage. My bed now had Harper's initials carved into the headboard, and my favorite necklace, the one my dad gave me before he passed, was hanging from her neck. My mom said, we wanted her to feel like she belonged. I figured you wouldn't mind. I said nothing. Not because I agreed, but because the hurt lodged in my throat like a stone. I told myself I was being overly sensitive. That it was just temporary. But that lie didn't last long. Each time I visited home, it felt less like a return and more like an intrusion. Harper had taken my place at the dinner table, in family photos, even in the little inside jokes that used to belong to me and my mom. I became an afterthought. My mother stopped texting first. My birthday was missed 1 year, and when I called, she said, "Oh, I thought Harper told you we were doing a joint celebration this weekend. Can you come then?" Harper had my life, and I was watching it unfold like a stranger peering through the window of a house that used to be theirs. But the final blow came on my 21st birthday. I decided to drive home unannounced, thinking maybe they'd surprise me or at least be happy to see me. Instead, I walked into the house and found Harper standing over a birthday cake, wearing the exact dress my mother and I picked out together the year before, one we bought on a spontaneous trip that used to mean something. She was blowing out candles, surrounded by neighbors and extended family. My mother was right beside her, holding her shoulders, singing. There wasn't a single trace of me in the room, not a card, not a photo, not even a chair left open. I stood there, invisible, for a full minute. No one noticed. That night, I didn't yell. I didn't cause a scene. I just turned around, got in my car, and left. I drove back to my apartment, packed my bags, and moved states within the month. I didn't just leave the house, I left the identity they handed me. I stopped calling, stopped explaining myself, and started over completely. I found a job in publishing, moved into a small studio apartment, and filled the silence with words, writing late into the night, spilling poems, essays, and short stories into a blog no one read at first. But I kept going. I wrote about invisibility, emotional exile, and quiet betrayals that leave no scars but cut the deepest. Years passed. One of my blog posts, an open letter titled, "To the Daughter Who Was Replaced," went viral. It was raw and honest. A small production company reached out and turned it into a short film. It won an Indie Award. Suddenly, I was being interviewed, invited to panels, asked to publish a book. I said yes to all of it. My name, my real, unborrowed name, began to mean something. That's when my mother reached out for the first time. In 5 years. She messaged me, saying, "I saw your film. It was beautiful. I'm proud of you. Would love to reconnect." I felt everything: anger, longing, confusion, but mostly clarity. I agreed to meet them for brunch. Not to reconnect, but to let them see me, truly see me, one last time. When I arrived, Harper was already seated beside my mother, dressed to resemble a version of me from years ago, same soft curls, same subtle makeup, same forced smile. My mom introduced me like I was a distant acquaintance. "This is Daniela. She writes." Harper added, "I used to help her with her stories." That was a lie. She never read a word. I smiled, handed them each an envelope, and said nothing. Inside was an invitation to my book launch party, a formal, ticketed event for my memoir, The Ghost in the Family Portrait. The launch night came. The venue was filled with readers, creatives, and friends who celebrated me not for who I was to someone else, but for who I had become. My mother and Harper sat in the back, unsure of their place. When I took the stage, I read a passage from my book. "This is for anyone who's ever been written out of their own story, replaced before they even had a chance to speak. Your silence is not weakness. Your story still matters, even if no one claps at first." I didn't look at them. I didn't need to. When the signing line wrapped up, I walked past them, smiling, confident, whole. I didn't scream. I didn't demand an apology. My revenge was this: I became unforgettable without them. And I didn't need to be their daughter to be seen anymore, I only needed to be my own.